a little bit of me, I guess, a little bit of Mucka, and a little bit of Field bouncing around on that bottom camera. But here we go. It's working now. Whatever you just did, it's perfect.
It's I keep doing the same thing. It stops for a minute and goes back again, but
it just keeps flashing me and Mucka over your screen. So
yeah.
Welcome everybody back in tonight to another episode of Three Guys Opinions podcast. That's Mucka in the top, and we put Field in the bottom tonight. So that's the boys. I'm Niner, and we're gonna jump right in. Field, Mucka, what do we got going on this week?
We got a whole lot going on. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about NFL?
Well, kind of, but more importantly, I want to talk about your kitchen. How is the inquiring minds want to know, how is Mucka's 1 week kitchen remodel going 3 weeks later?
Slow.
Like he's like the typical small business right there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then you'll run into problems, like I got the old steam radiators, and instead of trying to, disconnect them and drain my whole system, I gotta block the thing up, and it's not easy. So there's always these little things that slow you down, but it's a pain in the ass. Am I regretting doing it? Yes, but it'll look better in the long run.
How many more hours of work do you have to put into this? Are we getting close to the finishing of it, or
yeah, I got like 2 more days of the floor, and then I got to do countertop and backsplash, so probably a couple weeks.
Have we at least got to where the wife doesn't have to cook TV dinners every night?
Yes, yeah, we got the kitchen table back in tonight, and
good,
the stove's been on the whole time. So,
all right, and Field, what's going on in your world?
In the real estate business that I was in for the last 25 years, we had to do what you call make readies or apartment turns, and those kind of times that you're ripping out there are just not acceptable.
Well, I'm a one-man show
by the hour.
I'm a one-man show, so it takes twice.
That's what most of our apartment complexes. That's what they had was one man.
Now, hold on. Favre did say he would come and help you lay the floor if you paid for him to come up there and all that mess during Christmas. You might should have taken him up on that offer at this point.
Should have, yeah.
All right. So other than whatever's going on with that camera of yours, Field, what's going on in Field Killer's world? Maybe you shake your computer. Oh, and he left. Hold on, he'll be back.
I'm still here.
Oh.
No, I'm still here.
Uh-oh.
What's going on in your world, Dan?
We can hear him, but we can't see him. Uh-oh. Not much, man. I'm enjoying I've been playing a lot of golf lately on PlayStation. It's very comforting and soothing, and getting my ass kicked by Twitch almost every night. But other than that, I mean, not much. I got this new job going, really doing some stuff over there I'm doing a lot of changes for them, and we went and I have Google coming tomorrow to take an in-store tour so they can put a video up of the way our store is set up, and they do set up 26 different spots in the store so you can get an entire Google tour of the store. It's really cool. So I'm gonna go in at 6 a.m. to make sure everything's fine-tuned and everything looks good for that. And other than that, I mean, I've just been chilling. Ready for another fun night of you guys, because I always have fun doing this. So Field, what's going on in Field in the crew chief's world? What's going on?
I was gonna say it was maybe over 25 years ago, me and my stepdad used to play golf all the time, Tiger Woods on Sega.
Sega, man, that was when I was
the only video game
that was
I
what I played.
My stepdad to play.
I played Sega every day, dude. It was always, when I was in elementary school, it was all about Sonic, and I was super good at the Sonic games. That was my shit.
What was your
in the day?
What was your first system?
My first system was the Nintendo NES, the very first one. Got it in 87, I think. Duck Hunt and Mario. That was the one I could, at the end, by the time that we had moved on to Super Nintendo, I could beat Mario Brothers in under 8 minutes by jumping through worlds. So
Yep. What about you, Field Filler? What was your first system?
I think
throwing rocks at Jesus.
No, man, I have a hard time remembering this, but I think, didn't Atari make a system?
Yes, Atari was the first one.
Atari was one of the.
I think that's what I had the very first.
So you played that was it Brick? Was
Yeah,
that
Pong.
Pong,
Like
where
Pong.
the bar
Yeah.
went across and the
Yeah.
ball? Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine
Yeah,
people
super breakout.
and people would play that shit for hours. I don't understand where we
Yeah.
are now with video
Today,
games.
I wouldn't touch that today, but
With
yeah,
the
back
bar
then,
going
yeah,
across
that
the
was
ball,
pretty cool.
jumping the things you guys did to stay busy back in the day. So Twitch just texted me, asked me if we were ready. So let's go ahead and jump into our football picks so we can get this kid on. By the way, everybody, tonight's guest is Rookie of the Year for FR last season, BamBamTwitch. He'll be on here after our football stuff.
Well, we can bring Twitch in before football. If
Can
he's
we?
in a hurry.
Well, let me see if he's. Hold on. Let me tell him.
That way, when he's got to go, he can go.
Yeah,
when mommy tells him it's time for bed, he got to go to bed.
What we could do is switch it up. We could do his questions first, and then if he can't stick around for the NFL, then he'll be.
He doesn't do NFL.
He doesn't like football.
He's not a football guy.
Then why don't we just do the questions first? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, bring him in. We'll throw some questions at him.
All right. I told him to jump in. Let me get my. So this will teach you guys a lot about my relationship with Twitch. A lot of everybody is. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one. So a lot of folks know. Let me see here.
Look at that. Phil Filler's beating Muckus.
Well, screw it. We're going to use this one.
Depends on how you look at it.
We'll use this one to start, and I'll show. No, I want this one. This is the one I want. Hold on. I've got to make.
I think if it's a photo finish, I win.
Yeah. That there's Phoenix. That there's a championship
It
race.
is, but hold on. We're going to show this one in a minute. I have to shoot. I have to make this.
Don't fall over 9.
Yeah.
Make host. Oh, I'm on my side. Oh, there you go. Make this one the host, and then I need to come down here and.
So everybody made it through Friday the 13th last week, I see.
I had no idea it was
I didn't
Friday the
even know it
13th
was
until
Friday the
Saturday the
13th.
14th. I had no idea it was Friday the 13th.
Me either. Unfortunately, I am superstitious about stuff like that.
Yeah, and you didn't know it was Friday the 13th?
I didn't. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah. When I was looking up fun facts today, I seen a thing about the full moon that people actually get less sleep during a full moon for some reason.
More light.
Maybe.
I saw my first full moon on Grand Theft Auto the other night. It was pretty bright.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it, so we're just going to do the one you wanted. I feel bad. So I had a really good video of before he joins of Twitch's first win at Homestead. Actually had me in tears calling him to the finish line. There's a big backstory behind me and Twitch and how long me and Twitch have known each other. I've known Twitch much longer than I've known Shovelhead. Twitch, I literally drug Twitch into FRR. He didn't know who any of you guys were. And True needed somebody on his team.
What kind of drugs did you bring him?
Dragged him in. So True needed somebody on his team going into Daytona. So like the day before Daytona, I was like, you've got to try this kid Twitch out. He's pretty decent. He's a little wet behind the ears, but bring him in. And so to see the progression that Twitch made throughout the season, I had this really cool video. I just can't get it to play of like the Dale Jarrett call of Daytona and then me calling Twitch to the finish at Homestead. It was really cool. It was blended really well. I just can't play it, but maybe if I can get it before the end of the show, I'll show it to everybody. I really liked it. It meant a lot to me for that kid to win. Obviously, I was, tearing up watching or calling that race for him. But here is the video that the other one we have. And this one has a backstory to it as well. How do I go back to share video? This one and bang.
Oh, he's gonna make the pass. He's got to clear him. A little bit of contact. Yep. See, field filler on that outside.
The reason the caution comes out.
Oh,
That'd be horrible. Come on, old man. Stay down there. Hold it down there.
oh that'd be the better weapon you say. I would more or less use the OG. Oh, a little contact again.
See, you guys are sitting here banging on each other. That's why Twitch caught you.
And here comes that
But
7 of
he
Twitch.
doesn't
He's
hold
got
back.
something to say about this, I think.
Twitch bringing the average age of this run years down by about 20 years.
Ooh, a fuel filler up into the wall.
And he tries to
That's
take
a
one championship leading 3 wide here. Like,
Don't do that, young man.
Contenders 3 wide. What are you doing, rookie?
Oh, don't do that, young man. Yeah,
He's trying to show him who the rookie of the year is.
yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Bro, I think you might need to keep.
so there's that. I mean, and right there, that was the final race last season. The final race last season in the championship 4, and I messaged him, said now, so where are you at, Bam?
I figured I knew we were going to get stood up once, at least once.
Oh,
on
this is he
show.
says he's logging in right now. You know that Connecticut, Vermont, New England internet, it's slow.
Yeah, slow, like everybody around here, slow. Like my kitchen remodel, slow. Right?
So
Well,
yeah,
if you're
Bam
not
Bam,
doing nothing, Phil, you can come on over and help.
do you
Yeah,
have enough,
hey, I got
do you
enough
have,
of that shit to do here
do you have somewhere for him to nap?
that I don't want to do.
Because he'll nap
What-
more than he lays.
You know, the
floor.
bad thing is I got a lot of that stuff I need to do, but I don't have anybody to bug me to get it done.
Yeah, right.
That's good. And there he is. Welcome in, young BamBamTwitch. Zane, how are you, sir?
Hey, he's an
Pretty good. How are
American.
you?
We're doing great. We're doing
Go,
great.
go.
Go America. So the way this works, you're in what we call the hot seat. All of us going to have about 3 questions for you. We normally start with Mucka because he likes to go deep and get the good stuff out the way. We just watched a video of the Phoenix race where there was a lot of shenanigans going on between the 2 old guys and the young kid. And I'm sure a question or 2 will be brought up about that. So Mucka, go ahead, jump in with your questions for
Hey,
the
I
hot
was
seat
gonna
guest tonight.
wreck Mucka there. and Twitch wouldn't let me do it.
What stopped you from wrecking Mucka? Well, there's man, damn it, Twitch.
So
I would have loved that.
what
in
the hell were
podcast
you
move.
thinking? What the hell were you thinking that I think I've asked you this before, but for the people who don't know, first of all, I apologize for Field Filler's camera going crazy, but during the championship race, me and Field Filler running door to door, and you come shoving your nose, making us 3 wide, coming out, I believe was 3. What was going through your head?
Well, really, just I gotta join this party.
I mean, when you see the 2 banging in front of you, you'd have no choice but to get up there and try to get by them. I mean, they're slowing
Yeah.
each other up. You got to go. But they won the
an
championship 4. If
opportunity.
you
I
could
want to
go
know
back
how
and do
he
it
would have
again,
felt
would
if he'd
you?
have wrecked one of us.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
What?
How would you have felt if you had wrecked one of them?
Field. If it was Field, oh well. Mucka, oh well.
Oh,
No, I'm just messing. I would have felt awful. I would have felt awful if I did.
and you want to be my latex salesman?
Oh man. So in case everybody doesn't know, Mucka is the one that gave Twitch the name Bam Bam. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask him.
yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. Go. My bad.
So when Twitch joined the league, the name Twitch really didn't really fit his driving style, his personality. So I was trying to think of a nickname to give him, and it just occurred to me one day. Every time this kid's behind me, he's hitting the rear end of my car. Every corner, just bam, bam. Here's Twitch, bam. So I said, you know what? From now on, you're gonna be Bam Bam. So from digging a little bit, correct me if I'm wrong. You didn't know who the hell Bam Bam was.
I had no clue. No.
Which makes it even.
Who did
better.
you think Bam Bam was? Do you remember the
I
day
think
we
I
did?
looked,
You thought
I
it was
think
like a
I looked up.
rapper
It was like
or something?
some band.
Yeah, some band or some
something.
rapper or something. I'm like, no, that is not why he called you Bam Bam, bro. And then I sent him a clip of the Flintstones, and he's like, oh, that makes sense.
That's what happens when you hang out with the old guys. We go a little far back with our references. But congratulations on Rookie of the Year last year.
Appreciate it.
It's not an easy task to do. When we came up with that nickname Bam Bam for you, it was a shortly thereafter, I believe, you were called into the office, so to speak, to talk to True and myself about your driving style and being so aggressive and actually just relaxing and let the race come to you more than you going to get the race. But you just showed huge improvement, huge, like from where you were at the beginning of the year to where you finished off, besides bringing Field Filler and myself 3 wide. Huge improvement, and that's why you deserved the Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. And I don't think everybody in the league saw it because it's a vote. It's not one man's decision. It's a vote-wide league. So congratulations on that. And what does that mean to you after your first year?
And think about the people that you beat for Rookie of the Year when you answer that question. Think about the other people who were up for Rookie of the Year that you ended up beating out to be Rookie of the Year. Like you beat Shovelhead for Rookie of the Year. That's a big deal. You beat 19mm for Rookie of the Year. That's a big deal. Like that was some good stuff out there.
I mean, when I first joined, the first, I don't know, maybe 10 races, I was like, yeah, there's no way. Because I knew how I was driving. And then after, like what you said, you and True pulled me into like a party chat and was talking to me. And then I was like, you know what, I really got to change it. So, I just started working more, just on NASCAR heat in general and, was fixing how I was driving. And it led up to, me winning Homestead. Finally beat Favre at something. And then, when I, got told that I won Rookie of the Year, I was in shock. Even talking about it now, it almost makes me tear up.
Hey, none of that. No tears.
Yeah.
Don't tear up anymore.
You've done none of that in the podcast or in the broadcast.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on the whole tearing up thing. I mean, look, there's only 2 times I would ever tear up on that damn game, and that was if I was calling you to a win or if I was calling Shovel to a win. And I'll be honest with you, I did not think it would be you. I did not think it would be you before it was Shovel. I really didn't. It still kind of shocks me that. And now that the season's over, the car he was driving was my damn car. It was one I built for me and Twitch for what was it? It was a charity race we did for somebody's mom who had cancer over the summer.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, we got to race this Homestead race. He's like, I don't have a setup for Homestead. I'm like, I threw something together. I said, here, try this. It saves fuel, obviously, as we saw. Doesn't wear the tires as much as everyone else's. So the fact that he won the race in the car that built for us, I mean, that made me feel really good too. Like it was pretty freaking awesome.
I only won because of pit strategy.
Yeah, if you were 15th most of that damn race, because I know that's the one where Mucka told you to drop back to the back because you were glitching really bad. And then I remember somewhere in the race you said, "Hey, is it okay if I race now?" And nobody saw you glitching, and that's when it just there you are. That's that. Yep. Anything else for me there, Mucka?
Yeah, I usually do a couple things. I've known you for roughly a year now. And you were saying that you're going to be a state trooper or a cop. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to become a state trooper when I'm old enough. Another thing that I'm looking at is becoming a caretaker. Because right now my grandfather has a caretaking company that he does. And he's older, so soon he's going to be, walking away from it.
What is a caretaker exactly? Because I think of a caretaker, I think it's something completely different than you do. So what is a caretaker?
Yeah. So, I mean, every, I guess, like caretaker does like different stuff, but for the most part, it's like mowing, plowing, like carpentry, some building,
That does
you know,
sheds a whole
stuff
different
like
light
that.
on what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, when I think of caretaker, I think of someone who takes care of old people. That's what I thought a
Yeah,
caretaker
yeah.
was. Someone who takes care of them medically and helps them get back and forth to doctors.
He's probably doing it for the elderly. Yeah.
Yeah, but is it like people who have vacation homes and stuff? You take care of their homes when they're at their vacation home, or is that
Mostly second homes. Yeah,
okay?
we have some like primary homeowners that we do, but it's mostly out of staters.
Oh,
So talking about out of staters, you're from Vermont.
Correct. Yeah.
Not that far from me, a couple hours. I couldn't pinpoint what town you were from. I don't know if you wanted public knowing that, but I have some crazy facts about Vermont. I mean, I know you're young, and I don't know how well you know your Vermont history, but did you know that there are no skyscrapers in the state of Vermont?
Actually,
Yes.
wow.
It's actually nicknamed home of the short buildings.
Short buildings.
Hell yeah!
There was there's only one building in the whole state that's 11 stories, and it's the Decker Towers in Vermont. Other than that,
Wow.
everything's smaller than that.
Wow.
11 stories. I have just buildings at our college that are more than 11 stories.
Yeah.
So what's
Um,
do you know the population of the largest city?
no, I do not. Does
Well, he might.
he might? Yeah.
He doesn't.
It's not a lot, I'll tell you that. I think it's only like 100,000 maybe,
No
110,000
kidding. Wow, that's crazy.
maybe.
I mean, who'd want to live in Vermont Field? Come on.
yeah.
No
So-
offense, Twitch.
All the out of staters are invading us.
Montpelier is the state capital, correct?
Yes, correct.
Did you know there's no McDonald's in Montpelier?
What?
What?
And that's the
It is
capital?
the only state capital city that does not have a McDonald's.
That's
the only
bullshit.
one.
They need a McDonald's.
Jesus.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sign the petition. I don't even live there. I'll sign a petition for them to get a McDonald's.
So the other
That's
thing I got
nuts.
crazy.
That's
The
just
last thing I
crazy.
got about Vermont that I thought was kind of crazy was in 2008, two towns in Vermont, Marlborough and Brattleboro, I've been to both, have a resolution aimed to arrest President George W. Bush and counterpart Dick Cheney.
That's just how liberal
Citizens-
Vermont is.
It's yeah.
Citizens can use the citizen arrest if they ever come to that town ever again. They could be under arrest by citizens arrest because that town feels that the two leaders violated the Constitution.
Absolutely. I mean, we did go to war for, Dick Cheney's
So-
a bit of it.
So just so you know, if you ever see George W. Bush or Dick Cheney, you can arrest them even though you are not a state trooper yet.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I would only arrest one of them. The other
Hey,
one, just let him tell you jokes. He's funny.
So that's all I got for you there, Twitch. I'm gonna hand you over to Dan.
Okay. So we know that you're a huge, and just so you know, I wore this hat special. I've never worn this hat on the podcast. I wore this one special for you tonight.
I want to jump in real quick and say, go Yankees.
And
No.
how do we mute Mucka? How do I mute Mucka on here? I'm not sure. Where's the mute Mucka button? So I'm a big Giants fan. You are a big, what's that team that didn't win for like 108 years? What's that? That's you guys, right? Oh, the Red Sox. Yes, Red Sox. So you didn't have to live life as long as some of these other Red Sox fans of them not winning. So they won pretty early in your life. How are you coping with this season, and what do you have looking forward to next season with the Red Sox? Because we talked about this on our podcast, Bump and Run with Bam and Dan. We talked about your pain of the Red Sox not making it to the playoffs. So what is your outlook for next season with some of the shenanigans going on in the offseason?
Jesus, not much. We Heim Bloom is just blowing the team. I mean, we brought back Devers on a 10-year deal. We've had some minor signings here and then, but we haven't really done a whole lot. We need a shortstop, and the team
Go
needs a
get
lot
one
of
of
work.
them buildings.
Shortstop. Hey, short building, shortstop. I like it. All right. So we're going to see the same old from the Red Sox in 2023 that we saw in 2022. And Bam will be happy one day and pissed off the next. This is just the way it's going to go all season. All right.
Yep.
And then you've been playing in our Madden tournaments. We see that you play as the Vikings. Are you a Vikings fan? And who is your football team? Because you don't talk about football very often. So I just have a feeling you're just one of them baseball guys. You don't really like football, but who's your football team?
I don't follow football a lot, but if I had to pick one, it would be the Patriots.
You're about a decade late on that
over
one.
there.
You're like a decade late, bro. Like you should like the Patriots when you were
Yeah.
a kid. Now, sorry, I don't see Mac Jones doing nothing for y'all. But we do have room on the Niners team for all fans. You can come jump on there if you need a place
You're not that far from New York, so
yeah, but New York's so bad they don't even play in New York. Like, yeah, they don't now. And then my third final question is one that some of us know, some of us don't. Recently, you have decided to become a volunteer firefighter. I know you're not 18, so you can't go and fight fires, but you can start your training now for when you do turn 18. What made you want to become a volunteer fireman?
My dad used to be a volunteer firefighter for close to 6 years. But I pretty much just drove by the fire department, and they had one of those like signs out there saying like volunteers wanted, like that type of thing. And I was like, you know what, screw it. So next Wednesday is the first training session.
All right. Well, man, I'm very proud of you for that. That's good. We need more kids like you out there. I can tell you that. You're a very respectable young man, and we're all pretty honored to call you a friend. Especially, you're going out 17 years old, wanting to be a volunteer fireman, wanting to be a state trooper. There's just not a lot of kids out there that want to do those kinds of things. So very proud of you for that. And hopefully we see some great stuff out of you this next season. And hopefully you let up on the football. Let me win a couple. And and we play golf a lot too. And Twitch started playing golf Tuesday. I don't think he's lost a match yet. So since he picked up the clubs for the first time on 2K21 golf. So great golfer.
He can't beat Mucka on Madden. I know that.
Have you not beat him yet? Have you not beat Mucka on Madden?
No.
Dude, everyone's beat Mucka on Madden at least once. I've even beat Mucka on Madden.
No, that's going too far.
No, I did. My very first game against Mucka, I won. Now my second one, nope. First one, yep. Because when you play somebody for the first time, they don't know how you play. They don't know what you do, so they can't play against you. But once they learn you, and Mucka learns you real quick, you're done for. So that's me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass you on to Field Filler, and God bless whatever his third question.
Good luck with his third question.
His third question will get you, bro. Good luck.
Dude, I want to know why the hell you haven't been running in the winter series.
Just school and life. We just started our second, just because of school and life. We just started the second semester at my high school, so been getting a lot of work and everything. But also on top of that, just working and stuff. So I've just
So what
really not
happens
had
when
too
the
much
regular
time.
season hits?
Well, then I'll make time.
You will. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
It's the winter series.
Yep.
Everybody, sometimes people need a break after a long 38 race season.
I just took the last 2 weeks off. I haven't touched it in 2 weeks.
I've been looking for you. I've been watching Field streams, and I'm like,
so you see what's going on with my video right now? See, this is by design because this is what's going on in Twitch's mind during a race.
Oh my God.
So I wanted to know for when the next season starts, what's your thoughts on, this team style racing versus, how you team versus how you race for yourself. What's going to be the primary goal for you? You want to be a team player, or you want to go out and get it done?
If I have an opportunity, to win, I'm, gonna go for the win. But if I have an opportunity to help my teammates, then I'll help them. But depends on the situation, to be honest with you. If they
Last
need
lap,
help.
you bump and run Mucka?
Who wouldn't?
Oh yeah.
Okay, last lap, do you bump and run your teammate?
Which one is it?
Typical.
Either any of them.
Oh,
Typical.
definitely
All right.
Favre.
Definitely. So you bump and run typical or far.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, you got to remember the average age of the team he's on is like, I don't know, 17, 19.
Pretty young.
And
Yeah.
you got two 17-year-olds and a 24-year-old. So far, can you imagine if they get sniper on that team? Jesus Christ. 17, 17, 17, 24.
Well, my last question for you is, if you was to win $1 million and you had to spend it all the very next day, how would you use it?
Man, Phil, I live in Vermont, dude. There's nothing around here. Honestly, I would. Jesus, dude, I don't even know.
Okay. My bank account's empty, Twitch. Just go ahead and send some this way, buddy.
I'd probably just buy some random truck and then just put huge tires on it, huge lift kit.
You're gonna spend $1 million on one vehicle?
Hey, at least he's gonna buy a truck. I like that. The dude is a true American.
Yeah.
Republican or Democrat?
You think so? Republican, bro. Come on.
Republican.
Do you think? Hold on a minute. Let's calm.
He's a Republican.
Let's calm Phil down a little bit. Hey, Twitch. What kind of truck do you drive?
Tacoma.
A Toyota. Okay, very
Toyota
American
crap.
of you. Very American of you,
Toyota
Twitch.
crap.
Toyota Tacoma. I love it.
Hey,
Buy
it's
a
better than
Dodge.
driving a Tesla.
Buy a Dodge.
My
Oh,
Dodge, yep.
All right. Looking forward. Next season starts in third week in February at Daytona. Look for BamBamTwitch in the old 17 Sunny Delight car. I hope that's my favorite one. Of
Hey,
17
Twitch,
cars.
is your mom watching?
No.
Oh, well, tell your mom I said hi.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Hey, Twitch's mom. I hope you enjoyed the podcast tonight. We tried not to be too bad with them. If you watch some of the previous ones, we do get a little rough with the hot seat, but we know Twitch is underage, so we tried to keep it clean tonight.
Yeah.
Twitch, so we normally don't do this, but do you have any questions for the three of us? Anything you want to ask us? Put us in the hot seat for a second. Anything you want to know?
I got a question for you, Maka. So I think it was Phil that asked this question on one of your previous podcasts. What is the first word that goes through your head when you see the 7 car in your mirror, or well, now 17 car?
Brace for impact. Impact.
Okay, Phil, same question to you.
I'll probably just get out of your way.
Hey, I'm
because I know he ain't gonna let up. I might as well just let him go. I ain't gonna fight it.
Yeah. Hey, I know you didn't ask me, but mine is what happened in Michigan this last Saturday. Just get back there and push, brother. Just get back there and push.
Yep.
Twitch pushed me to my first or my second league stage win this week by blocking Sniper for me on the last lap, so Sniper couldn't get to me and push me to the win in stage 2. So that was fun. All right, man. It was a pleasure having you up here. We know it's probably really close to your bedtime, being as you're a junior in high school. So got to go, or sophomore. Are you sophomore or junior?
Junior.
Okay, yeah, junior. So got to go get your beauty sleep, because what, you only have class from like what 9 to noon or something?
Like 8 o'clock to
Yeah.
like
And
11. But then
then
I have like a different class somewhere
oh,
else.
I thought you were done. Like you told me someday you were like, yeah, we can do that, whatever it is at noon. I thought you like had like half days or something.
Yeah, Wednesdays we don't have that, so I get out at 11:30.
Yeah, it's crazy. I never had that when I was in high school. We were there from
You got to
friggin-
milk the cows or something? You got to milk the cows? Is that what you got to do up there?
Oh man. All right, bro. Take care. We will catch you.
Yep.
Hopefully you do one of these winter series races, at least one more. I mean, you did well at Auto Club. You finished second. Haven't really seen you since. So maybe you'll jump in. Got a Kentucky and Kentucky and Michigan and Texas coming up. So we all know how you
Yep.
did at Texas when you and Perky double teamed Flash 9 to get first and second and then wreck him out of the way on the last
Yep.
lap. So Texas coming up there. That's a Bam Bam track for sure.
Yep.
But take
Had to put
care,
them in the
man.
wall.
Yeah, we'll catch you.
Yep.
We'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, check this out, Mucka. So my crew chief texted me and said she got a notification of our show.
Yep.
And so when she went to go watch or listen, this is what it came up with. As you can see, there's a picture of us.
Yeah.
It says Three Guys Opinion, January 26th, 1996.
Yeah, do you know why?
96.
Do you know why? That's what last week's episode was called.
That's what?
With JWoww. That's what last week's episode was called.
Wow. That was the
January
last time the
26th,
Dallas
1996.
Cowboys won a championship.
That was because
Yeah.
I said that date like 5 times in that podcast.
Oh,
That was the last
okay.
time the Cowboys won the championship. So that's the week. That's last week's podcast with JWoww.
That's last week's show.
But yeah, that's why it's called January 28th, 1996, was because that was the last time
Oh,
the Cowboys
okay.
were relevant. So that great segue though, Field, because that brings us into football. And who won football picks last week? I just want to hear from everybody. Who won all 3 games? Yeah, y'all got real quiet, didn't you?
Yeah.
Who picked the Cowboys last week? I got JWoww to change and pick the Cowboys last week. He wasn't even going to pick them until I started throwing out some stats. So I don't get to be right very often. This is my one time. And I picked the goddamn Cowboys to win the race. And guess what they did? Or win the football game. And guess what they did? They made Tom Brady lose to the Cowboys for the first time ever. And advanced to play who? The 49ers.
Yeah.
So,
You gonna
Sunshine's
take
on a
them
dog's ass.
again?
So that's gonna bring our records as of today. Me and Phil are still tied at a whopping 17-4, and Dan is 13-9.
hey, I won last week. I don't get it's what you did for me lately.
Yeah.
But now
So,
it's not going to be 3. Now it's not 3 games, so our numbers are going to be a little off.
Yeah, it's
We
gonna
have
be
more
4
games
games this week.
Yep.
Now, let me start off by saying last week's games were great. Every game was great.
It was. I was not. No offense. Was not expecting what the Giants pulled out the way it happened. That was. Give it.
Yeah, well, we faced.
Give it up for y'all. Absolutely.
Like I said
where
for
the hell
last
did they
week.
come from?
Well, like I said last week, the Giants play Minnesota great every year in the playoffs. If we face them, we play them great. So I was feeling good going into last week's Giants game, and Daniel Jones just, 71 yards rushing, 17 times, 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Barkley had 2 touchdowns. It was just a great Giants game. Hopefully they can do it again this week against Philly.
And I'm telling you, if they do, the Giants are the only team left in the NFC. I do not want to play for the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
They're the only team. I mean, I know we're going to swallow the Cowboys this week. And the Eagles, I'm not worried about the Eagles. I think we could beat the Eagles, no problem. It's the Giants that give me the biggest headache. Is if they win this week, it's going to be a hard NFC Championship game for us to win.
And what about the San Francisco
the
game
Giants
last
were
week?
they were the lowest seed of all the playoff teams.
They were.
No, they were 6 seed.
Who was below? They're the lowest
Miami
seed.
was the
They're the
17th.
lowest seed left.
Oh, wait. No. Okay. What I meant to say was in
Seattle.
the beginning of the season, they were projected lower than any
Right.
of the teams that are in the playoffs.
Yes, correct. But
Well, I'll
San
tell you this,
Francisco game last week was
at
you know,
halftime.
Seattle. I was nervous for the 49ers last week with Seattle, you know, Geno Smith lighting it up, you know, and San Francisco's D was just nowhere to be found. And I'm like, man, this is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But
my hairline went back 3 inches during that, right there in the first half. Whatever Shanahan said in the locker room at halftime fired the boys up. And we
whatever he did worked.
Yeah, we went out
I
there.
just think San Francisco stuck to their game plan and didn't let Seattle's explosion bother them, I think is what it came down to.
And we've definitely been a full game team this year. A lot of our best plays have always came at the end of the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. We're a closing team. A lot of these teams will blast off and start off strong and then just kind of die out in the third and fourth quarter. And that's where we're picking up steam and we're still just, just going at it. So maybe it won't be like that this week. There's more Cowboys fans talking shit to me this week than I've ever had. And so I'm just taking it in, just letting it happen. I'm like, you know what? You guys aren't here very often. I'll let you have it. I mean, give it to you for a minute. You guys made it farther in the playoffs than you probably have the last 25 years. So let's see what happens.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, Chargers game, that was another exciting game. Trevor Lawrence throwing 4 interceptions in the first half, and it looks like the Chargers are going to run away with it. And then he comes back and throws 4 touchdowns. I mean, the guy, Jags are hot, man. 5 in a row, 6 in a row now. Just great games last week. All great games. I couldn't ask for a better playoff round. So this week we're going to talk about, and then we had Dallas game Monday night, and Tom Brady, is it his last game?
It should be.
Dallas. I got to hand it to Dak. He looked good last week. He did. He looked really good. Their offense was on key. Their defense was stout. So, I mean, let's see if they can repeat, or are they going to fall apart in San Francisco? Which brings us into this week's picks. We're going to pick all 4 games. First game we're going to talk about is Kansas City versus the Jags. And since Field Filler's the Kansas City fan, we'll let him start with this one.
Yeah, I'm scared to death of this game, but if we can get up on Trevor Lawrence early, say the first half, if we can score a bunch of points against them, then I'm just going to say, because that dude takes off in the second half of the game, and it's like he ain't got his shit together in the first half, but the second half somehow he works it all out, especially when he's behind. I mean, he plays different. When he's behind, it's like he has nothing to lose, right? And he just goes for it, and he makes it. He's successful. And I don't think he plays that way in the first half. So I think we need to score a bunch of points, to be able and then try to maintain it in the second half of the game. That's what I think. I got the Chiefs 37, Jags 35. This might be an overtime game, though. I don't know.
Oh, man.
All right.
Wow.
So it'll probably be Chiefs 30, Jags 3 in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, he did light it up last week in the second half, and really they're playing with house money. They got nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's when that dude's dangerous.
Yeah. So what do you got, Dan?
Plain simple. You've said it. Jags are running a hot hand right now. The Chiefs got a unfair advantage bye week. I think it's going to come back to bite them, and I think the Jags are going to get them. So we're going to put the Jags on top of the Chiefs this week.
Bold move, Cotton.
Hey, I got to go bold or go home.
Yeah, if you want to catch us, what do you got for a score?
We'll go something cheap, something like what Field said, 35, 37. Yeah, sure. Other way around.
All right.
It's going to be close, but I just think the Jags are running the hot hand right now.
All right. you know, I'm kind of worried about the Jags beating Kansas City this game. Something in the back of my head's telling me the Jags are going to pull this out, but we all are also talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. The dude, I don't know where he comes up with some of these plays. Sometimes he just finds a way to win. They had some, down games this year, but yes, they did get the number 1 seed off a game that didn't get played, but they also put themselves in that position to get that number 1 seed. So I think Kansas City pulls it out at the end. I think it's going to be a nail biter. It's going to come down to a last 2-second field goal. And I think KC's going to get the win.
I like it.
That is the 4:00 game, 4:30 game on NBC on Saturday. Then Saturday night, 8:15 on Fox, we have the Philly versus Giants game.
Woo!
Since I'm a Giants guy, I'm going to start this one out. This is going to be the 3rd time we faced Philly this season. Got our asses handed to us the first game. It was like 400-0, 77-0. Total embarrassment. The second game was just a few weeks ago. We did not play any of our starters, and it was still a close game. So it's tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. A lot of my pick has to do with being a Giants fan and the way they played last week. But I am going to go with the Giants win 31-27 over Philly. And the Giants are just going to keep surprising everybody. And that's the way the Giants like it. So going with the G-Men. Go Big Blue.
I like it. I don't like it, but I like it. And by
What
the
do you
way,
got, Field?
this is the first time on our podcast that Mucka has picked the Giants to win a game. I just need to point that out to everybody. Fun fact number 1 of the day.
Yes. I don't pick the Giants with my heart. I pick it with them with my head. And I think that they're going to beat Philly this week. I really do. So
I like it.
What do you got for us, Field?
I don't think I need a long explanation for this one. I actually believe that the Eagles are going to beat the Giants worse than they did anytime, or worse than, it was a pretty close. They're gonna remember when didn't they play the Eagles played the Giants and the Giants didn't play their starters.
Yeah, that was
That
the
was
last
a
game.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the score?
It was a lot closer than you think. It was.
Yeah. I think that the Eagles are going to beat the Cowboys by more than what they beat them by when they had their second and third stringers in there.
With the Giants.
I'm going the Eagles 35, Giants 21.
It's Eagles and Cowboys.
No, it's not.
Or Eagles and Giants. No, you're right. You're right. Never mind. Whew. Sorry. I thought you said Cowboys there a minute ago.
He did say Cowboys.
Okay. He threw me off. He threw me off for a second.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, you guys, I wish the Eagles had the Cowboys this week, but they don't. They don't.
All right. So what do you got for us, Dan? Giants,
I'm going Giants all the way in this one. I don't know a score. I'm not gonna give you a score. It's a gut feeling on this one. I just feel like you said, you don't really lose to a team 3 times in the same season. I feel like the Giants are clicking on all 8 cylinders right now. I feel like they're again another team playing with nothing to lose. They've already advanced farther than anyone thought they would. And historically, when the Giants are doing this, they go all the way. So I have the Giants winning this one and possibly winning the NFC Championship next week. But that'll be next week.
All right. I like to hear it.
I have a lot of Giants fans in my life, just so you know. Lots of Giants fans. And I don't know why the hell my friends base is Giants fans, but you'd be surprised how many people I've grown up with that are huge Giants fans. So, yeah, they're also going to love to hear that.
Sweet. So the next game we got is the 3 o'clock game on Sunday, CBS. Bengals at the Bills.
Can we save that for last?
We can.
Yeah, because I want to talk about that game a little bit. So let's save it for last.
Okay. So we'll skip ahead to the 6:30 game on Fox. Dallas versus San
Can we save that
Francisco
game for
49ers.
last? I have a lot I want to say about that game. If we can save it for last, that'd be great.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
kidding. So since
We'll
I'm
talk about the Philly Giants game.
So I was very outspoken last week. Cowboys were going to win that game, not thinking that it would be us they were playing. And it did not take much for my Cowboys friends to jump on the we're going to knock the shit out of the Niners next week. Oh, okay. So I just want to point out to those guys listening that last year we whooped the living snot out of you in the playoffs. And we did that with Jimmy Garoppolo. And we didn't have Christian McCaffrey. And Bosa wasn't playing the way Bosa's playing right now. So we're going to kick the living dog shit out of the Cowboys this week. 77 to nothing.
Can we back up a little bit though?
Yeah, let's go.
I think the last time Dallas faced San Francisco, it came down to Dak didn't have enough time on the clock to spike the ball.
Wasn't it 21-7 or something?
No.
Was this last year?
Dallas was driving down the field. Dallas was driving down the field to either tie the game or go ahead, and he ran out of time because he couldn't spike the ball.
Pretty sure we kicked the living dog shit out of him at AT&T Field last playoffs.
All right, now I'm gonna have to Google it.
Pretty sure, because there was a lot of memes that came out of that game. All right, I keep seeing them all week. It's been great to see my Facebook timeline memories from a year ago. It's been nice. Even if it was a 2-point game or 3-point game, it doesn't matter. We kicked the living dog shit out of them. All right. And
okay.
Cowboys, what was the score?
What was what score?
Last year. I know you're
The
Googling
game
it.
you're looking for.
Last year's playoff game.
I'm looking it up right now. Hold on.
Niners and Cowboys.
I'm not that.
I forgot you're on that.
Finger.
I forget you're on that New England internet.
Yeah, but one finger at a time, buddy.
So yeah, no. The Niners aren't going to lose to the Cowboys. It's just not going to happen. As much as these Cowboys fans, it's our year. It's our boys. Sorry, fellas. Sorry, JWoww. I got you to pick them last week. I ain't gonna get you to pick them this week.
Oh, now I'm not gonna be able to find it, right? Because
we got the goat. We got the goat Brock Purdy playing for us. Breaking rookie records, only starting 6 games in the regular season.
All right, Niner. I can't find it right this second.
I got you. So yeah, Cowboys gonna light them up, dog shit out of them. They're gonna die. Cowboys going home with their tails tucked between their legs. Niners with big victory, 77-0.
Okay.
And I'm looking up the score right now.
What do you got for us, Field?
Are you having to think about this, Field? Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to do what you were doing. I didn't hear you call my name.
Oh, you're good. It's all you. What you got?
It's all you, buddy.
I actually believe it's going to be a close game, but I do think 49ers are going to edge it out.
Right.
I'm going 24-21 Niners.
Okay.
23-17 was the score, by the way, in 2022.
Yeah, and Dak ran out of time. Tried to spike the ball, and didn't have enough time to spike the ball. It was on like the 20-yard line. So they were driving the ball down the field to score on them. But regardless, I am taking the 49ers because Dallas has not faced a defense like the 49ers defense all year.
Nope.
He lit the field up Monday night against a below average team is what it comes down to.
They beat a team with a losing record.
Yes. So I'm going to go with the 49ers on this. And it's going to be a close game, just like it was last year. Niners going to pull it out with a 61-yard field goal at the end of the game. That's my prediction.
I mean, Robbie Gould can make those all day, but yeah, no. Okay. So we all three picked the Niners?
All three of us.
Good choice. Good choice, fellas.
So that brings us to the Bengals-Bills game. And we're gonna start off with you, Dan.
This game is the one that ruined the AFC seeding. They're finally going to play the game that they should have played a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna pick the Bengals on this one. They were already the hotter team while they were playing that game before it got stopped. Bengals are about to score again. So I'm gonna go with Bengals. They're gonna win by 7.
Okay, short and simple.
Yeah.
What do you got for us, Phil?
Well, I need to preface this pick by God dang it.
You want me to pick first, or do you want to?
No, go ahead. All right.
I am going with Cincinnati. I think Buffalo played like crap last week. I think it's going to roll over to this week. I think Joe Burrow is just the man when it comes to playoff time. Fell a little short against Mahomes, but I think he's just going to go into Buffalo and show them what they were supposed to do the week they stopped playing when they were up 7-3. And I hate to say it because, you know, my buddy Pittman's a big Bills fan. Got a couple friends that are Bills fans, but I just don't see it happening this week. I think the Bills stay true to form, and Cincinnati comes in there and just beats them up pretty good. So
Yep.
I'm going Cincinnati.
Which isn't a bad pick because we all know the Bills can't win the Super Bowl. So no reason to waste that spot in the Super Bowl.
Right. Wide right. It's wide right. Laces out, Dan.
All right, Field. What do you got?
Roger Goodell, I hope you're watching this.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, me too.
All right, here's the deal. I want to pick the Bengals because I think that they would win. But the NFL, I'm pretty damn sure is rigged. And what the NFL wants is Kansas City and Buffalo in the Super Bowl. And what the NFL wants, they usually get.
Well, in the AFC Championship game, they can't play in the Super Bowl. But yeah.
Yeah, AFC Championship. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, what they want is they want.
I hate that you're right. I mean,
they want the AFC Championship to be the Bills and the Chiefs. And I'm going to take the Bills simply because of that reason. What I want you guys to do and all of America, because I know all of America's watching.
Hell yeah.
And please like and subscribe. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Send a link.
Yes.
You watch the officiating in that game, and I bet you the Bengals are going to get screwed by officiating. I'm going Bills 31, Bengals 30.
Cool.
Otherwise, I'm for the Bengals.
I'm for the Bengals as well. I like Joe Burrows. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks out there. So
he was made for the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And get to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row would be freaking awesome. So here we are. Those are the picks. I'm excited.
Let me be the first to say we are not going to be tied next
That would be
week.
correct.
We are not going to be tied. We picked two different games this week, so somebody's going to be in the lead by 2 games.
Well, we picked 2 different games, so I mean, we technically could be tied.
You could be tied. That is correct.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I don't see it
If we
happening.
only picked 1 different game, we wouldn't be. But we picked 2 different ones, so we can technically still be tied.
And if anything, if any of y'all take the lead, it's going to be Mucka. Mucka's going to be the one that takes the lead this week, just because of the Bills-Bengals game. I think no matter how shitty the officiating is, the Bills are not going to win that game. It's going to be Joe Burrow's back-to-back AFC Championship, back-to-back going to the Super Bowl, and this time he might win it.
I think it's going to be my Giants pick when the Giants go in and Philly and shock the world.
That'll be a good one too. That'll be a good one too. So that's our football picks. We're going to move into fun facts. And since we just left football, I want to throw out my fun fact real quick, because this is my fun fact for the night. Every single quarterback left in the playoffs was born in the 1990s. The NFL younger generation is here. They're taking over. We have none of the old guys left. They're all out of the playoffs. When Grandpa Brady got knocked out this week, so now all the youngsters are in there, and that's my fun fact, man. I mean, all of our quarterbacks that are left are all in their 20s, which is phenomenal. I think Dak's the oldest one at 28. So, 3 of them born in 99. I have scars older than that. So looks like Mucka's PlayStation ready for some action.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I mean, that's my fun fact, man. The youngsters taking over the NFL now. All of our quarterbacks are under the age of 28. There's going to be a young quarterback win the Super Bowl this year. And I'm excited to see that. And I'm definitely excited to see the 49ers Cowboys game this week, because that's going to be it's going to be great. I just can't wait. This is great. This is my favorite time of year. People say Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. Hell no. It's this week of this week in the NFL playoffs, best time of the year.
Yes.
So what you got for
All
us
right.
there, Field? Because we know Mucka's got 2. So what's your fun fact of the night there, Field Filler?
So my fun fact is about Viagra.
Woo! And our in-house expert on Viagra, what do we got?
So Viagra is not only good for treating male impotence. Yeah.
There you go. Viagra. Brought to you by Field.
There was researchers in Israel and in Australia that have found that if you put a small amount of Viagra in a vase of water and put flowers in it, the flowers in the vase with the Viagra in it will last a week longer than the flowers without Viagra in it.
They don't wilt, they stay hard.
Yes, it says they stand straighter for a week longer. And that it sounds like a joke, but it is not a joke. I literally, after I saw that, I had to research it because I don't want to come out here and put out a false fact.
So who decided that they had a bunch of Viagra and didn't have the need for it? So give it to the flowers.
I have no idea.
Have you taken and tried any yet? Have you put your Viagra into a flower vase yet, just to see if it works?
I haven't put it in a flower vase, no.
Just try it out. Tell us if it works. I mean, we don't want you to waste it, but yeah. Man, leave it to Field for the best of the fun facts, man. You always dig deep. I love them.
I couldn't pass that one up when I found it.
It's definitely a hard one to pass up.
Definitely hard.
All right, Michael, what do we got? Because, the guy that drives the 2 car always has 2 fun facts.
It literally says here, quote, they discovered that small concentrations of the drug Viagra dissolved in a vase of water can also double the shelf life of cut flowers, making them stand up straight for as long as a week beyond their natural lifespan.
And if they go longer than a week, they need to please find their local agriculture.
Yeah, you gotta take them to the hospital, the emergency room.
Yeah. If your flowers stand more erect for longer than a week, call a florist. Please consult your local florist.
Oh, Jesus. It's going downhill quick. All right, Mucka, where's the number 2 fun facts for the week? What do we got?
All right, so I was a little hungry earlier today, and I was thinking about having a cheeseburger, so I started looking up cheeseburger facts, and it came up as high-speed burgers. Everybody's had fast food in their life, and it seems like it takes forever to drive through sometimes.
Yeah.
So there's actually a cafe in New Zealand. It's in Christchurch, New Zealand. It's called the C1 Cafe, who delivers its burgers to its guests in clear tubes at 87 miles an hour.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's a fast-moving drive-through line.
Wow.
Can you imagine that burger going 87 miles an hour through a clear tube?
They must have, you know what? That restaurant must have opened up in an old bank building.
Well, that's funny, dude. I was seeing a picture of this Taco Bell in Michigan not long ago that actually the Taco Bell is up above and they have 4 drive-throughs underneath. They shoot food down through tubes like an old bank building.
So that makes sense, Field. I never thought about that. It's actually probably an old bank building. They said, "Here's your burger."
That's really cool. That's really cool. They have to wrap them things tight though, because 87 miles an hour, that thing's gonna go everywhere. So they got to be tied tight and taped up before they start shooting them down them chutes. How fast do your fries get there? I need burgers 87 miles an hour. Do you get your fries and your drinks that way too?
Yeah, that'd be a sloppy meal. Right?
Burgers only. We don't do the extras, just burgers. Yeah, I love a good cheeseburger.
My second fun fact was I was thinking about, BamBamTwitch as our guest. So got me digging into the Flintstones. Now, I know Field and I both remember the Flintstones. Do you remember the Flintstones?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I watched the Flintstones. I watched the Flintstones when they were Pebbles and Bam Bam were adults. They had that version of the Flintstones, and then when John Goodman and Rosie O'Donnell starred in the movie, and then with Rick Moranis, and then the next one had the Baldwin brother in it, Viva Rock Vegas. Yes, I've seen them all. I love the Flintstones.
So, in their third season, which was in 1962, the Flintstones, wanted to branch out, and the show decided to give the Flintstones a baby. So they wanted to bring a baby into the show.
Pebbles.
We all know Pebbles. Yeah. Adorable little redheaded.
Yeah, with a little bone in the head.
Baby.
Yeah.
Well, originally it was supposed to be a boy.
Oh.
And the producer of the show was like, "Yeah, we're gonna bring a baby boy into the show, and we're gonna broaden the span of the Flintstones family." And well, the toy company Ideal, who happens to be the creator of the Rubik's Cube, was, in the toy business, obviously. And they got a hold of the producers of the Flintstones, and they found out that they're going to bring a baby boy into the show. Well, the toy company said to the producers, "Make it a girl, and we can make dolls and sell the dolls, and more girls will buy the dolls than boys would buy the dolls." So they decided to make the girl, name her Pebbles, and they sold over 3 million dolls in the first few months of the show.
And that probably also brought in a whole new viewership, because probably Flintstones were more of a boys show than a girls show back in the day.
Right.
And that probably brought in a whole different viewership of the Flintstones, and that's where we are today with how big the Flintstones were.
So if the Flintstones was a show today, they would adopt a black girl and they'd call her Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh God.
So if there was no Ideal toy company, we wouldn't have Pebbles, so we wouldn't have Bam Bam, is what I'm getting to.
For all of the hate mail, that is field_filler, FRR field_filler. Just go ahead and send it that way. That's Cocoa Pebbles that's Cocoa, COCO Pebbles, in case you guys were wondering, which is one of my favorite cereals to eat, by the way, Cocoa Pebbles.
I love them. Oh,
Cocoa Pebbles are some of my favorites, dude. Some of my favorites are the Cocoa Pebbles. I like Pebbles too.
Hey, if I eat Cocoa Pebbles for breakfast, I get the shakes.
There's a lot of chocolate in Cocoa Pebbles for sure.
Probably because you're eating them at 2:00 in the afternoon.
So I love Pebbles and Bam Bam. Those are two of my favorite kids in shows. But my favorite episode of the Flintstones, it might have been a movie, I don't remember, or a 3-part movie, was the Flintstones Meet the Jetsons. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
Oh,
where they switched, like the Flintstones went to the future and the Jetsons went to the past. They somehow got a hold of a time machine. That was one of the coolest. I remember watching that when I was a kid. That was super cool, where the Flintstones went and he was running Spacely Sprockets, pressing the button that George pressed every day, and George was down there riding the dinosaur in the rock quarry, and that was a lot.
I'll have to look for that one.
It was a really good. I think it was a movie that they came out with, but it's called The Flintstones Meet the Jetsons.
There's one of those urban myths that the Flintstones were actually supposed to be before the Flintstones in time history, and that evolution grew so fast and so so they started off with the Jetsons, and everything's high tech and flying cars, but technology grew so fast, it actually, Armageddon, the computers took over, and then they have to start over as the Flintstones. It's
Oh,
like one
wow.
of those urban myth things.
Huh. I didn't know the Jetsons were before the Flintstones.
They weren't.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the urban myth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think without the Flintstones, there wouldn't have been the Jetsons. I think that
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera just, they saw something so great with the Stone Age that they wanted to go to the future.
And actually, the writer of the Flintstones, the creator, was actually one of the lead writers in the Honeymooners, the show Honeymooners. So that's why a lot of people think that the Flintstones are a copy of the Honeymooners.
I did like the Honeymooners. That was a good show too.
I don't know what the Honeymooners is. Now that you do have.
That's
me on.
before your time.
Yeah, that you really
That's
have.
before
me
your
on.
Bleach
time.
together.
Okay.
Yeah. Look it up.
Okay.
Very, very funny show. Very funny
Okay.
show.
Oh, it was a show. It
Yeah.
wasn't a movie. It was a show
No, it was a show. Black and white.
called the Honey. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to watch that. I get a headache when I watch black and white movies or shows.
That's where the old went to the moon, Alice.
To the moon, Alice. You remember that? Yeah.
Nope.
Uh,
Nope. I'm
Yeah, very
okay.
funny
I
show.
will before next week. I will look up the Honeymooners. Really excited. Tomorrow night we're watching Maverick. I haven't seen that yet, so I'm gonna watch that this week. So I'll make sure I watch the Honeymooners too. I'll get a good
Yeah,
blockbuster in
I
and a
watched
good.
I
like-
seen it a couple weeks ago.
Was it good? Was it worth me going out of my way to watch?
Well,
They
yeah,
said it's supposed
good
to be
one.
better
Yeah,
than the
good.
first one.
People say that, but man, it's so hard for a remake. Like it's so hard to get a better than the first one out there because the first ones are always.
Yeah.
I feel like remakes are just remakes, I mean,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is 30 years older than he was when he did that. So I'm nervous
Hey.
to see it. I don't know if I'm gonna waste my time, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Most remakes don't have the same lead star in them.
Yeah. Yeah,
that
true.
with that big of a span.
I tell you
part
what,
of
though.
made that movie good. That's part of it.
I tell you what, though. One show I am looking forward to the remake, which I believe they're making right now, is Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice 2 is
Dude.
coming out.
No way.
Yes, and it has the same actors. So
Oh, really?
I'm looking forward to that. Supposed to
They
be
should call
next
that
year, I
one prune
believe.
juice.
Yeah, prune juice, right? He's all
Wait a
dried
minute.
up.
He played the best Batman too, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. So he's gonna,
Michael Keaton, I believe his name
he's
is.
gonna be Beetlejuice again.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yes. Okay.
Hey, what was the one Keaton was in where they could make copies of him? Where they made copies of him? What was that one? That was a good movie too.
I'm not sure.
I
Oh,
can make copies of him. Are you? Was that?
yeah, he learned. So
Was that
Michael
Keaton? It was the phenomenon, not phenomenon. Oh,
That's the same.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it, but I didn't know that was Keaton. I thought
He was
that
also in Mr. Mom, wasn't he?
I thought that was Spacek or Kevin Spacek or Kevin Spacey. Those.
No.
Okay.
It was Michael Keaton.
Huh? Yeah, he was in
He was
Mr.
also
Mom.
in Mr.
He
Mom,
was
right?
Mr. Mom. That one I do remember from when I
Yeah.
was a kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was Mr.
Yeah.
Mom. That was funny. That was
But
funny.
that's
So yeah,
gonna wrap up our show, folks.
it sure is. Next week, we don't know who the guest is next week. We haven't got that far yet.
We haven't gotten that far. Yeah.
We got to decide that tonight. So,
Yeah.
I got some ideas. We'll discuss that, and we'll catch you guys next week. When we find out, do the Giants make it? Do the Niners make it? Do the Chiefs make it? And we'll learn next week. You guys take care, and we'll catch you. Where are you guys racing this week? Where's FOR at? We didn't even talk about that.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. We didn't even talk about what happened at Canadian Tire. What happened? Hold on, real quick before we get off here, because people do tune into that. What happened at Canadian Tire Field?
Well, I watched Field Filler's stream. I actually didn't race it, but I watched his stream. And
I saw
Field
typical.
Filler had a good race.
Typical just laid it down on everybody for the second week in a row.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
if you
from the
watched my
conversation.
stream, Mucka, did you see how clean that race was for me?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you started off. I think it was like 14th or something like that.
17.
Um,
Yeah. I tried to
and,
start in the back, but some people didn't
yeah.
qualify. So yeah,
But you had a very clean race, and before I knew it, you were in third, and you just hung out there, and
Yep.
it was very impressive.
Hell
I-
yeah.
well, and I'm glad you watched that because there was so much bickering going on about people getting hit and slammed and dive bombed and everything. And I was so patient getting around everybody. It Yeah, I hope people would watch that to show that that's all you have to do.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Well, turns
no,
one
I
and two
seen-
at Canadian Tire are hard not to bomb somebody who just doesn't have the same speed you do, because you get that good run coming out of down turns 1 and 2 or turns 3 and 4 or 2 and 3, where you come down that hard hill and most of the time you're on 2 tires. If you get that corner
Sure.
good, it's hard not to hit the person who's slower in front of you because you kind of lose control coming down that hill. But yeah. So
But
next
no, it was
week you
great
guys are
race.
at Kentucky.
Great race. Kentucky next week. Yeah.
Kentucky. It's all about the Porta John at Kentucky. So we'll see you
Yes.
guys next week after Kentucky. We'll give you a update on that. Hopefully we'll get some streamage footage from that from Field's perspective and Mucka's perspective this week and show you guys next week. So take care, everybody. We'll catch you next time right here on Three Guys Opinions.